On the 9th of March 1957, a single sentence echoed across Accra. The independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked with the total liberation of Africa. That was the sentence. And you see, those words, they didn't just free a nation, they ignited an entire continent. Because Ghana was not just becoming a nation, it was becoming a signal that Africa could rise and that the world better pay attention. Before Nkrumah returned home, Ghana, then the Gold Coast, was a place of contradictions, rich in cocoa, gold, timber, yet ruled by a foreign crown. The people worked, but the profits left. And then frustrations grew. And in that tension, a movement began. The old political elites wanted slow reforms, but the youth, they wanted freedom now. And they needed a voice. Guess what? They found one. Kwame Nkrumah didn't walk into history quietly. He marched into it. He organized rallies, he mobilized workers, he united the poor, the educated, and the frustrated. Again, that word unity. His message was simple: self-government now. Very simple. The British arrested him and locked him up, of course. But here's the twist. While in prison, Nkrumah's party won the election. They won the national election. Imagine that, a jailed man becoming the symbol of hope. A nation choosing freedom over fear. When independence finally came in 1957, the world watched something they had never seen before. A black nation rising, not from war, but from political force and unity. The drums rolled, the crowds cheered, the flags went up, and Nkrumah stepped forward to announce a new era, not just for Ghana, but for Africa. One nation free, dozens inspired. And you need to understand, one nation cannot do this. One nation is not enough to create the liberation that we all want. It cannot happen with one nation. It has to be collective. Ghana's independence was not simply a victory over the British. No, it was a victory over the idea that African nations couldn't organize themselves. A victory over the myth that freedom must come from violence. And most importantly, it proved that one country can awaken others. Right now, which country is that going to be in Africa? In the Africa of today, which country is going to rise up from the dumps? Because after Ghana, the map of Africa began to change fast. The dominoes fell and a continent remembered its strength. Remember, the colonialism has graduated from very obvious to hardly seen. Ghana didn't just become free, it opened Africa's door to freedom. Which country is going to do that today? Which one? Because we may be independent, but we are not. So if you are listening to this, you need to understand Africa is not yet free. With our ideas, with our bubbling youth population, we can do so much more. If only we choose to be free. If only we choose to be free.